you've talked about a lot of successes that you've had that kind of like proved your rule. Like, I knew I could do it, so I did it. Is there any times when you knew you could do it and you didn't do it? And then how did that like change your thinking?
Well, I was on my way to the South Pole.
Uh-huh.
I lost the game, and I went into a crevasse,
Uh-huh.
and alone. You're not, I went pretty deep, and normally you don't get out of those places alive. That's your, where you finish up. But I knew that there was no way. Somehow I had to get out because I realized even with my emergency beacon, I could turn it on. They wouldn't know where it was because I was too deep. The signal wouldn't go. Finally, a long story short, I got out while I was pretty badly injured, hip and leg and so forth. And so I decided that, I'm not quitting right now. I need to, if I can just get within this site. See, at the South Pole, it's this big flat area, and there's all these buildings, huge domes. America has got this big South Pole station there, and it consists of these huge domes and things that you can see from many miles, several miles distance. If I can see it, then I'll quit. Well, I kept on, and it was very bad. I was in great pain, and so I attacked my first aid kit and got pain pills. I ate them all up like candy.
Wow.
I was in bad shape. Then finally, I could barely walk. So then, but now you see I'm 5 miles away. I can see the buildings. Well, now I can quit. I thought, no, I just need to get up closer so I can take a photo of my tent and the buildings in the background. I need that. So then I crawled another mile. And then finally, and I got my tent up, and I took the photo, then I pressed the emergency button. But it was always up. But so I made it to within 4 miles. I could see all the buildings. I have the photo of my tent here and the buildings in the background. So
Gotta get
I
that
guess
photo.
you basically made it. But I didn't actually touch the spot. And for a long time, that disturbed me a great deal. I was very disappointed that I didn't actually do that. But then I thought, well, so what? I was within 4 miles. I could see everything. I got a photo there, so it's best just to move on. But I was disappointed on that one. But the crevasse got in the way, and apparently I wasn't meant to get that extra 4 miles. I sure fought hard to get as far as I did, though. I put in enough energy to get to where I did. I could have walked to the pole 6 times. I had, it's hard for me to think of disappointments because I tend to put them aside and move on.
Okay.
I just don't really dwell on them.
Yeah.
One stands out only because it was a big, it was a big affair of the injury that I had and everything. But other ones, it's been, I would have loved to have been an opera singer, but I didn't even try for that one. That would be ridiculous. I could have made a lot of singing because people would have paid me a lot of money to be quiet. That would have been nice. Figure skating, but no, that would never work. I'm more the athletic type rather than the figure skater. That wouldn't have worked well either. So you see, some of those things, that you're not suited to it. And there's never going to be a way around it. So just don't bother with that. Go to things that you know that you can figure it out and do it.
Yeah.
And so, but my disappointments, I think I'm sort of the eternal optimist, and I don't, no, I suppose too, another reason why the disappointments don't dwell too heavily on me is because I've got 6 projects ahead of me that I really need to get on with.
Okay.
So that disappointment there, well, okay, that's past. Let's get on with what I want to do.
Yeah, so like you kind of throw yourself back into planning and getting inspired to, get out there again and challenge yourself.
Yeah, get out.
I'm down.
Don't wallow in your self-pity. Oh my goodness, I didn't make it. So didn't make it 4 miles. Well, hey, if you don't think I made it, well, that's your problem. Again, that's your problem. I think I made it, but that's okay.
I made it. Sorry.
I made it the hard way. I crawled the last mile.
Jeez.
Pulling a sled, it was ridiculous when I think about it, but anyway. It would have made a lot more sense to press the emergency button miles back there. The way I do things. I had trained my entire body of everything.
Right. You just gave it everything that you had. And I guess maybe that's the success in itself. Like you tried to.
When I think about it now, I think, there probably has not been a person who stepped there on that spot, the South Pole, that ever worked as harder than I did to get there, because they normally don't crawl.
No. No, they don't.
So when you think of that picture, that had to be pretty silly looking. You have to look at things from a realistic point of view.
Yeah.
And right now, I always have to have a goal. I'm a goal setter. I'm goal oriented and a planner, and that's my life. I love it. And now it's the national parks. I'm hiking the national parks. I've done 3 of them so far. Death Valley was the first one. I went back and did it the second time with my dog Sam. Dog Sam. He's the first dog to walk the entire length as a dog.
Oh, that's awesome. Even your dog's setting some records.
Right? What? That's awesome.
I had Sam. You see, I lost my husband due to an accident in 2016. And he had planned this Death Valley journey for the 2 of us. So when it came time, and he passed away due to the accident, and then so I decided to go ahead and do it in his memory. So I did it the first time alone, and so then the second time I went back with Sam, and that's why I got Sam, is to have it as a hiking companion, because I'd lost my hiking, 55 years of marriage, and so I had to. And Sam, I got him as a rescue dog, was Golden Shepherd. He's a German Shepherd Golden Retriever mix, the most marvelous dog. And so, so he and I did it the next year together. And then I decided to go on with more national parks. I will go to as many national parks as I can visit and hike them with Sam. And I've done the Craters of the Moon. I hiked about 300 miles there. And then I did Joshua National Park. I hiked about 200 miles there. And I'm going down to the Organ Pipe National Monument. I'm hoping to do it in April. And I'll hike about 400 miles or so.
Wow.
What I do, I go into the backcountry and I document it through photography. I write my notes, and there's geography, geology, photography, and any history. I write it all up, put it on the Adventure Classroom website, and then we do a video of it. There's 3 videos. There's a video of each of the 3 ones that I've done.
And who is that with? Adventure Classroom?
Yeah, put them on. It's for Adventure Classroom, so that I can take the message from a hiker's point of view to the kids, and encourage them, get out of the car, go out and walk the trails, walk the backcountry, just enjoy these beautiful places. And I'm hoping to write a children's book about each park, but Sam will tell the story of each park.
Oh, so cool.
Yeah,
That'd be awesome.
So those are my plans and goals for the future, and that'll take me to a lot of parks.
Yeah.
So I've got several thousand miles to walk here, I think. So I just keep on going. So I need to keep taking my vitamins and do my daily workouts to live long enough to cover them all.
I'm sure you will. You seem very focused.
I had to cancel them this year because of COVID. But
yeah. No, that makes sense.
it's okay. This too will pass. We all just have to be patient.
So we have like Women in Power Active, this chat that we're doing right now is to basically encourage women to, get out and do like active things that they've never tried before, because, like you, there's probably not everybody knows how to, you know, take something and then break it down and then plan it out. So maybe what advice would you give women to break something down like that, to, you know, have a goal and then like take it and schedule it out, you know, 3 months in advance or half a year in advance?
Well, I think the first thing is you have to think, what is it that I truly have my heart on? What would I truly love to do? Okay, what's that? Well, and then, you know, then there's the difficulties. Then you have to say, okay, now I need to plan for this. And then keep planning, and only when the plan is in place that you that you take that first step. Because as I've said before, a goal without a plan is simply a dream. So plan and plan, get it down right, and then you come to pitfalls and problems, and well, okay, then they will take some research or some figuring out around this barrier. Then once you're around that one, there's going to be another one on the other side. So you just keep on solving those problems until you have that plan in place.
Mm-hmm.
When that plan is solid in your mind,
Mm-hmm.
and then something else that I do is now, for instance, when I took my solo walk to the pole, I knew polar bears would be the greatest. So I would sit, and I actually envisioned myself meeting a polar bear. What will I do? And in my mind, I'd see pictures of how I'd be standing there with my flare pistol and with Charlie and these sorts of things. And I practiced that in my mind, what I will do in those emergencies. And so in emergency situations, what I do is I try to visualize them and visualize myself actually solving them at the time, so that when I'm confronted, if I'm confronted with that problem, I'm immediately ready to do it because I've already practiced it in my mind. It's just the same as in sports. You might throw the discus 100 times in a workout, but you've sat for an hour probably just visualizing that perfect technique, and it's drilled into your mind. It's the same as when you're planning for an expedition or anything difficult. Figure out the pitfalls and imagine what you will do, and see in your picture, in your mind's picture there, what you will do at that instance. Then if it happens, you will be able to react. So that's all part of the planning.